Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, will the Celtics get their revenge against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals? Plus, Chris Broussard explains why LeBron should consider joining the process in Philadelphia. And could Dak Prescott be an MVP candidate next season? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. The Celtics knocked out the Sixers last night, and they now have a rematch with the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Cleveland dominated the series last year, but only 4 players remain from that Boston team. This season, the Celtics lost 2-3 to the Cavs with Kyrie Irving in the lineup for all of those games, but Boston is a perfect 7-0 at home during the playoffs with Game 1 in Boston on Sunday. So, Shannon, who wins the series?
I don't really like the pick, but I got the
don't
Cavs
like
in 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to rhyme?
Yeah, Cavs. I got the Cavs in 6.
Didn't quite get there, but that's okay.
I got the Cavs in 6, Skip.
Or you got them in 6?
In 6. This is the matchup we thought we'd see at the beginning of the year with all the trades when Kyrie got traded to the Celtics. They landed Gordon Hayward. This is what we thought we'd see, but just not like this. We expected to see Gordon Hayward. We expected to see Kyrie in this series, but unfortunately, those guys will not be there. I like this matchup a little better than playing Philly because, I mean, Kevin Love, he tries hard, but he's no match for Joel Embiid down on the block. And then instead of shooting jumpers, now Joel Embiid, had he played against the Cavaliers, he's going to spend all his time down on the block throwing jump hooks over his left and right shoulder, posting up Kevin Love. But that's neither here nor there. LeBron is playing at a level we've never seen him play at, especially with the efficiency in which he's doing it. Now, he had gaudier numbers in that first finals loss to the Warriors, 35, 13, and 9, but his efficiency rating was not even close to this. He might have shot in the 40%. I know what LeBron is capable of doing. I know what he's going to do. If Kevin Love's going to give me what he gave me over the last 3 games, Joy, I'm on. If Kevin Love gives me what he gives me over the last 3 games, Skip Bayless, I got my vacuum cleaner.
Do you?
I got it.
Really?
If he's going to give me what he gave me.
Was that your prediction?
We get game 1, we sweeping them.
Really?
Yeah, we get game 1, we sweeping them.
Oh. Wow.
Sweeping. Sweep.
But you just said 6. So
yeah.
You went all the way from 6 down to 4?
Because I don't really know what I'm going to get from the role players. Because this is what we know.
See, the way this works on this show is you have to actually pick. So you have to guess what you're going to get from the role player.
No. I wish I could. Here's the thing, Skip. This is what we know. Indiana said, you know what, LeBron? We're going to let you do your thing one-on-one. We're going to guard the three-point line.
They did.
He cooked them. Toronto had the same theory.
And by the way, it went to the wire in Game 7, but go ahead.
Toronto had the same theory. LeBron, you do what you do. We guard the three-point line. And then he did it. I don't believe Brad Stevens is going to say, LeBron, I want to see if you can beat me, because Brad Stevens knows LeBron can beat him. They're going to come. He's going to make JR. He's going to make Korver. He's going to make those role players knock down those threes.
I would agree.
Can you do it enough in to win 4 games over the course of 2 weeks?
Yep.
That's what that's how they're going to play it. Because they got guys, and they can play like Toronto, Skip. They got enough guys. They can throw Jaylen Brown. They can throw Smart. They can throw Morris. They can throw a lot of bodies at him and try and wear him down, kind of like Toronto did. They, Sakiam, how do you say his name? Siakam.
Yep.
And Anunoby. And Miles and Ibaka, and they were picking him up 94 feet. So that's why a lot of times Bron would just give the ball up and says, okay, George Hill, you bring it up. Okay, Calderon. Okay, JR. Just, so I can sneak me some rest here and there, because, down in the fourth quarter, like the other night when he hit that 16, bring that thing on home for us. Skip, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So they get game 1. It's a sweep. I'm saying 6.
And I am saying 5.
5?
I'm saying 5. Cavs in 5, LeBron in 5, because this is one team that will have no answer for LeBron James. He is the beast of the East. He is playing at the highest offensive level of his career.
The beast of the NBA.
Yeah, of the East.
Don't do
the East, not the NBA.
NBA.
We'll get to that later. I already told you what's going to happen. I actually pity LeBron, because they're going to win this in 5, and then they're going to go get gentlemen swept in 5 by the Warriors.
Don't feel sorry for LeBron.
It's just coming again, and it's like sad but true that he's just it's like the light at the end of the tunnel is the oncoming train for LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Skip, the Warriors have the better team. You make it seem like if LeBron had equal talent.
this is the kind of game where if you are truly the GOAT and by far the best player on the planet, you should be able to just go in there and say, I'm better than all you guys. You can join all the forces you want to join, and you're not better than me. Because LeBron still has Kevin Love, who's still playing at an all-star level. And you just made the case in the previous discussion that we had that you thought the Cavs bench is way better than Sixers bench, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I think they're a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah, well, their bench is definitely, I believe the bench is definitely better than Boston's bench. But Boston only plays 3 players. They play Smart, they play Morris, and they play this young kid. But, yeah.
So here's the problem. This will be the first time the Boston Celtics will miss Kyrie Irving. This is what I've been waiting for all year, and there's no Kyrie. And it's a terrible letdown because this would this not be epic?
Yeah, because and this is what Kyrie wanted. Kyrie wanted an opportunity.
This is why he chose Boston.
He didn't really choose Boston.
Well, I'm just saying he blessed Boston.
We should have gotten Rozier. We should have gotten more. We should have got Jaylen Brown.
Maybe.
We should have got Jaylen Brown, Rozier, and that pick.
Yeah, but you didn't. And
that was Dan Gilbert's doing.
Yeah, but Dan Gilbert recouped at the trade deadline, and he actually turned a bad trade into a pretty good trade.
Well, this is what we know.
Because you got Jordan Clarkson, you got George Hill, and you got Larry Nance Jr.
You've covered basketball almost as long as I've been alive, Skip. You know when you trade a superstar, you're not getting equal value back for him. That's never, ever happened, and that's never going to happen. It's so hard to find those guys that are right on the of superstardom, and you trade him, you're not getting equal value back for him. You didn't get it for Boogie Cousins. The Lakers didn't get it. I mean, the Bucks didn't get it for Kareem.
No, they did not.
So when you trade one of these guys, you're at the mercy. You just hope, man, I just hope he can get somewhere near to what we gave away. But he's not there. And LeBron, all he needs is these guys. Kevin Love, just do what you did in the regular season. J.R., Corver, Jeff Green, just do what you did in the regular season. Because I can assure you, 6'9", Skip, and guess what? He rested. Do you know what a rested LeBron James is capable of doing?
I do.
Because on one day's rest, he played terrible and he beat Toronto. Gave you a triple dub. On one day's rest, after playing 45 minutes, Golden State. Not Golden State, Indiana, the colors are the same, just different shades of yellow. Wish we played Indiana in the finals. That'd be real nice, real nice.
It'd probably go 7 games.
I don't care what you know the end result would be. But we got these Celtics. This is what you've been asking for. We're going to see Brad Stevens' genius on display, but you're going to see LeBron's greatness. Sometimes you can't out-coach greatness, Skip. You can't do it.
Well, this is where Brad Stevens is no longer coaching Butler in the NCAA tournament. You can't out-coach another NBA star. You just can't. And LeBron obviously is playing at the highest level in the Eastern Conference. So Brad
He's playing the highest level in the playoffs. Skip, stop doing that.
So this is all I'm talking about. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. And the problem is going to be that he's going to have to throw those multiple bodies, and they're going to have to spend too much energy trying to defend the beast of the East. And all of a sudden, a Jaylen Brown who had, what did he have, 24 last night, made 3 out of 4 threes, and he was just deadly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's going to have to spend a whole lot of time and energy trying to stop LeBron and keep him from the rack, and he will not be able to do it. And then the kid, Jason Tatum, who is becoming a star, is going to have to spend some time trying to defend LeBron, and he will not be able to defend LeBron. And then Marcus Smart will try to beat on LeBron at about, what's Marcus, 6'4"-ish? I don't know. And LeBron would just post him up and toy with him in the low post. You know it, and I know it.
Jaylen Brown, you got no chance. You know why? You ain't got enough bricks in your back pocket.
He does not have enough bricks. He's not physical enough. He hasn't grown into his man body yet, and definitely Jason Tatum has.
No bricks.
So maybe Marcus Morris can bang with him a little bit.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Yeah, we're coming.
He's not that athletic. You know, he's not that quick. He can't match supreme athletic ability with LeBron. So they can run all those bodies they want, and they'll all get run right out of town. That's what's going to happen.
He come with that big toolbox.
And I do believe that LeBron and company will go in because he is rested and win game 1, and then you're going to have to amend your 6 down to a sweep. But I believe Boston can win game 2 at home. They'll just figure out some way on guts and grit, because this team has basketball IQ and character.
Oh, yeah. Now, they're well coached. They play within themselves.
They do.
They don't try to play hero ball. They'll make the extra pass. And their guys are playing like what we've seen. Jason Tatum has just gotten better and better and better and better.
You want to talk about fearless?
And
he doesn't care.
And you mentioned Jaylen Brown. He was 10 of 13. 3 or 4 from the 3. So they give you the kind of production that we saw from them in the regular season. But it's one thing. Man, that dude there, 23.
Okay. This is where you need the cachet, the mystique, the sort of aura of having we got Kyrie on our side, or for that matter, we got Gordon Hayward on our side, he did make an all-star team, and then you'd feel like we can match stature with stature.
Right.
Well, now there's still just a bunch of overachieving younger players with Al Horford, who's a wily veteran in the middle.
He's played well. Al Horford played really well.
But he will not be able to abuse Kevin Love or Tristan the way he did. He was just tricking Embiid right and left.
And
he
was
just
killing and Sarge was just not big enough.
No, wasn't big enough. No. So this is a really good, well-coached basketball team that will have little to no chance against LeBron. This is a perfect matchup for LeBron. I thought it was going to be the Sixers. That would have been epic. But this will be not so epic. It'll be over in 5. You know it, and I know it.
Just between me and you, there is no imperfect matchup for Bron.
Really? No. Huh. Well, wait a second. Well, then
Golden State is.
Do we have? Oh, thank you. I was going to say, did we make that bet?
No, we didn't make that bet.
I think we did.
But the thing is, Skip, here's the thing. That's a good matchup. They just got too many great players over there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay. Hey, we're not worried about Golden State, Skip. See, I see what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do anything.
I'm not putting the cart in front of the horse. I'm gonna go through. It's a process. It's a step by step. First round, second round, conference finals, finals. That's the process that Bron and I have been embarking upon this year. That's why we played all 82. That's why we led the league in minutes, because we want to show you we want our greatness on full display.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, will it
on
be
the road?
Okay. The next round, will it be in the finals? Will it be his greatness be on display?
Full display.
He'll average a triple-double, and they'll be out in gentleman's sweep 5, right?
So what does that tell you?
I don't know. Nothing, really.
Anytime a team, for the most part, Skip, let's be real, in a series, now you know anything can happen in one game. But over the course of 7 games, when a team has to win 4 of those games, normally 99.9% of the time, the best team wins. Look at Golden Skip. They've done a great job, but I'm not betting against him. I'm not going to Vegas and betting against O'Bron, because he's capable of averaging 40, 13, and 8 and bring this thing home in 7 games over the Warriors.
Really?
Yeah. He's very capable of that.
Do you want to
Very.
stake a case of dew on it?
Skip, can we
let it happen?
Yeah, let it play out.
Okay.
See, you the type of guy want to tell the movie. You want to tell the movie.
I hate to do this, but I'm revealing the flip ending that's not really a flip ending. It's going to be the same song, second verse.
Hey, you know them directors, they put in the alternate ending when they think you know
okay.
it's coming. Oh, alternate ending coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Maybe
about
like food poisoning.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
No mercy. Hey guys, Joy Taylor here. Before the show moves along, I wanted to talk to you about ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? Every business needs great people and a better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just 1 day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive, so you never miss a great match. The right candidates are out there. ZipRecruiter is how you find them. It's no wonder why businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. And right now, Undisputed listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. That's ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. One more time, try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Now back to the show. No mercy. The Sixers were eliminated by the Celtics last night in Boston. Joel Embiid had a chance to tie the game in the closing seconds, but missed the layup. Now the question becomes, what do the Sixers do this offseason, and whether they can get LeBron to come to Philly? We're joined now by FS1 analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, after this series, could you see LeBron going to the Sixers?
I got to be honest. If he leaves Cleveland, he should go to Philadelphia. Now, I was skeptical about this, and I really didn't think he should up until about a week ago, because I was like, he wants the ball in his hands. Obviously, Ben Simmons has the ball in his hands. I don't want him taking it away from Ben.
Right.
But I talked to somebody last week who would know, and they said LeBron wants to play off the ball. I said, he's never played off the ball in his life, including St. V.
Right.
And they said that's because he's never had a teammate who was a playmaker for other guys. Like Wade and Kyrie were playmakers, but more so for themselves.
Correct.
And so they said if he has that type of teammate, he wants to do that. Now, it might be challenging, but I said if he wants to play off the ball, it's a no-brainer. To me, it's a no-brainer. You stay in the East. You got a great point guard. You got a great big man. I think with LeBron, they would have the formula to compete with and beat a Golden State, because with the Spurs, the teams that have beaten them or given them trouble have had size and played big.
You got to punish them down on the block.
Yep. They try to go to that Hampton 5 with Embiid, and LeBron with his stature, his leadership, he could tell Embiid. There's nobody there right now that says, stop shooting threes. Get on the block. I mean, it's nice he can hit them every once in a while, but get on the block. And here's the thing, too. Now, they would have to, hopefully they could keep Redick. You need shooting. I know he's a free agent. Would he stay for less money to try to win the championship?
Maybe.
He might. He might. And then, you got Sarge who can shoot. Covington can shoot.
No, he can't.
Well, he's not a shooter, but,
The regular season.
he's okay. Yeah, okay. All right. And then, could you keep Ilyasova and Bellinelli? Maybe. If not, you might be able to get some guys like that. So, and here's the final straw. They need him. Like, if they had gotten to the conference finals, God forbid if they had beaten Cleveland in the conference.
With that.
I don't think he could have done it.
No.
It would have been the Durant move.
Yeah, Durant did it with no problem.
Durant did it, but now he could. I'm not saying he couldn't have done it, because you're right. Durant did it, and now Durant gets props. But Durant's not in the GOAT conversation. It's a little different. It's a little more, higher standard for LeBron.
He might be in the best player on the planet conversation.
No, he ain't in that conversation.
I don't think that's a conversation. But, they need LeBron. They need a closer.
Yeah.
I think there was some sentiment.
LeBron's a closer?
He's a closer now. He's a closer. And he can teach those young boys. So I think it's a perfect fit if he wants to play off the ball.
You want to go?
No, you can go.
You sure?
Pile on.
No, I ain't no problem. I can see it happening, because he's about winning championships, and if he feels the Sixers give him a better opportunity than, say, the Cavaliers, because I've always felt his first option is to remain in Cleveland. But can he attract another big name? Because he knows in order to take down Golden State, you need at least 3 guys.
And next year, you got Boston coming.
Right. Hayward coming back. LeBron sees himself in a Ben Simmons. But here's the thing that's working against LeBron and the Sixers. Let's just say LeBron has another 2 years, maybe 3, playing at this level. Can Ben Simmons develop a jump shot by then? Because the one thing that he loves more than a playmaker is guys that can knock down shots. Because that's why he surrounded himself with shooters. They have a specific job. Kyle Korver has one job. JR has one job. Guys that play with him, normally, they're specialists. Ray Allen did one thing. Mike Miller did one thing.
Well, this would be different.
Yes.
It would be a differently built team. Because LeBron wouldn't be handling the ball as much.
Right.
As much.
But when he drives to the basket, Skip, when he drives to the basket, it's like a moth to the flame. The moth, you think he wants to go to that flame? He knows how it's going to end. So when LeBron drives to the basket, he knows they're coming. So I kick it to Ben Simmons. What he going to do with it?
Look, Ben showed, now obviously he can't shoot a lick.
Exactly.
But he did show he can actually play off the ball with T.J. McConnell.
I agree with that.
He can.
He did.
Occasionally when LeBron does handle it, Ben will be okay. He posts sometimes and stuff like that.
So I agree with one of Chris's points and disagree with your conclusion. But I do think that last night, as the clock hit zeros, the door swung wide open for LeBron to go to Philadelphia, because you are correct. If Philly had done what I thought they would do to the Celtics, and then if they had somehow done to LeBron what I thought they had a real shot at doing, because they are a tougher matchup than Boston will be for LeBron and company, then you can't do. I mean, there's no law against it because, as you said, Kevin did it. He got away with it, and everybody forgot. Oh, yeah, you left Westbrook for that, but he got his ring.
You left a team that was up 3-1.
That's correct.
On the team that you joined that was up 3-1 and lost.
But it's the classic, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
So Kevin Durant got away with doing that. I don't think LeBron could get away with that. It would just be such a horrible end-of-career look. But now that they melted down, not once or twice, but really 3 times in this series.
2, 3, and 5.
It is a situation, silver platter screaming for, you need LeBron James. But where I disagree with you, I don't think you need him off the ball. I think this team needs him on the ball because Ben did play off with TJ. TJ settled them down and got them organized much better than Ben. I'm not sure he's a point guard. I don't see that. They degenerated. They collapsed. They shot selves in foot because when he was trying to get something set up, because if you have a 22-point lead in Game 2 at Boston, your point guard has to get you home in that game. If you're that guy and you're like 7 feet tall, you get them organized, you get shot after decent shot after decent shot, you're going to make enough, you're going to hold on to 22.
Yes.
When you're up 5 with 1:04 left in overtime of Game 3 at home, your point guard or whoever your guy is, who's that guy, the it factor guy, has to say, me, I got this.
Hey.
We
Slow it
got
down.
this.
Yeah, let's get a good shot.
I'm going to get Joel a perfect shot, or I'm going to create a shot in the lane that I can make. And both of them last night, starting at the 8-minute mark, there was this stretch where they're up 2. And I thought they were starting to gain control of the game. And Embiid takes 3 straight, the wildest shots you could ever imagine. And I'm saying, because I'm rooting for the Sixers, what are you doing? And then Ben caps it off. He comes down and tries some dipsy-doodle underhand shot that doesn't even hit the rim. It hits the backboard. Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because you can't play that way against a well-coached, disciplined, smart team, high IQ team, and win the game. And they didn't win the game. I believe LeBron could take the makings of a juggernaut and take it up a level at his age, 34 and 35 seasons. I think you'd have a real shot at winning the East, and I do think you would have a real shot of challenging Golden State.
Yeah, I'm chalking I mean, you're right about Simmons. In fact, yesterday when they made the run and took the lead, he was on the bench.
Yeah.
It was McConnell. But I chalk a lot of that up to youth. I guess it does maybe remain to be seen. Is he a true point guard, or can he be a true point guard? First year ever playing point guard in the NBA, and he did a good job.
Right.
You're right. In the playoffs, this series, he looked bad. But here's the thing. I think LeBron, if he goes to Philly, I think he can, let's say he leads them to a championship while he's still the best player in the world, or top 5, whatever. And then as he gets older and they mature, they could win another 1 or 2.
They could.
Maybe then. And I'm going to say this, Skip, and you know I think Jordan's the GOAT. I do believe if LeBron wins another ring or 2, if he somehow won this year, I mean, it might happen sooner. But if he wins another ring or 2, in 10, 15 years, he's going to be known as the GOAT, just like Jordan today. Because
some people think he already is.
I know. The millennials,
like the millennials sit across
the millennial, right?
The 50-year-old millennial.
But here's the truth. Like, because, you know, most older people, Oscar Robertson, I had Clyde Drexler on my podcast, they don't think Jordan's the GOAT. Now, they don't disrespect him. They know he was phenomenal.
He was.
But they're not saying, they're not putting him necessarily ahead of Kareem or Oscar, you know, some of the guys of their generation. It's kind of this generation that's saying, oh, he's the GOAT.
Right.
Undisputed. There's no discussion. These millennials, a lot of whom already think LeBron, if they look back in 10 years and, you know, the details get foggy, they'll say, they're not going to say he went to Miami and he joined Wade and brought Bosh. They're going to say he's got 5 rings.
3 different locations.
3 locations. He's been to the finals twice as much as Michael Jordan. Even though he lost, he's been there twice as much. He's got virtually all of the individual regular season, postseason records.
Yep.
They're going to think, why is this even a debate?
They're going to be thinking what I already know.
So do you believe that report that came out after All-Star break that some representative of LeBron's was in the Philly neighborhood or area scoping out school systems?
I'm going to tell you, yeah, because initially people saying, the initial report was that it was LeBron and his family.
And then it got amended.
I was told it was, and this was not from his partners or anything, but I was told from somebody in Philly that it was some reps for him went to visit high schools.
Okay.
So
I think it's got real potential.
To me, it may, look, the Lakers would be they'd be great with him and Paul George, but they still in the West.
I know.
Here, why leave?
The only thing that would turn this upside down is if they did go and beat Golden State this year, then he would stay.
You think he would stay?
I don't know. I mean, it'd
no way
be hard to leave it. It would be.
I think he'd have carte blanche to do whatever he wants. If he led them to this title over Golden State, I'm not saying he wouldn't.
If he
stay.
led them to a title over Houston.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't lead them to a
he
title.
He can do whatever he wants at that
saying
point.
Houston's going to beat Golden State?
No.
I don't know what you're saying. I wondered, was that a bet that you were throwing out, or I don't know.
No, I'm not betting you anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's over.
We'll see about that. We'll leave it there. Chris, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Joy Taylor here. Before the show moves along, I wanted to tell you that support for the Undisputed podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family. That's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage, you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/undisputed. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
No mercy.
We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
What's happening? Good morning.
Morning.
Troy, look at it. Look at him, Skip. You know, he got all in shape. He been working out, lifting.
I got a trainer now. I told you.
Oh.
Trainer 3 days a week. He's done a great job.
What, he teach you how to act?
That's
Rob, we've been having the Jordan-LeBron debate all week. Shannon says LeBron has passed Jordan as the GOAT. What's your take?
Shannon, this is for you. No way, no how. Come on, Shannon, stop it.
Yeah, he's got to stop.
And Skip, this is you know this. Those two shots that LeBron made, right, game winner.
Yeah.
Great makes. They're not clutch shots. The score was tied. You know this. It's a totally different mindset when you're, and it's not to take away that he made the shot.
But you just did.
No, I'm not. They're makes.
It's a safety net.
Yes, you know you're going to overtime even if you don't make it. So there's just less. It's like a field goal kicker, right? Score's tied, and you step up there, you have a chance to win it, but you know you're not going to lose the game. When I was in Cleveland and watched Michael Jordan make that shot against Craig Elo, that was for the series. There was no, they're going to overtime, maybe. No, they were going home if he didn't make that shot. All I'm saying is those two shots shouldn't have changed anybody's mind. Were they great makes? Yes. Is he having a fabulous postseason run? Yes, he is.
Had he missed them and they lose in overtime, what were you saying then?
If he missed them.
If he had missed those shots, they go to overtime and lose.
I'd have to see what happened in overtime.
I just said they go to overtime and the Cavs lose.
But I'd have to see what happened. What if he scored all the points and nobody else helped out? So it's not just that. And then when you talk about, everybody always says, Michael Jordan had help and LeBron never had help. In the NBA Finals, Michael Jordan never had a teammate who averaged more than 22 points. LeBron had two. Kyrie, 28 points, and Dwayne Wade, 26
Great
points.
point.
So those arguments about Michael had Pippen and LeBron never had any help is all false. And then when you just look at who he's beating, here we go again. The horrible Toronto Barneys or Raptors, whatever you want to call them, right? Those are the teams that LeBron's beating. Michael Jordan beat 20 teams that had 50 or more wins in the postseason.
LeBron's
only
beaten
10. So when you look at it,
Shannon.
How many 70-win teams did Jordan beat?
No, well, LeBron was. I mean, Jordan was a 70-win team, so he couldn't beat. He couldn't beat him.
How many 60-win teams did he sweep?
I'm talking about 50-win plus. Okay?
No, how many?
We gave LeBron the parade for that 3-1 comeback when Golden State choked. We gave LeBron credit for that. Okay. All right, so we gave him. And let me just give you a couple more numbers. Michael Jordan, he has 3 more rings, 3 more final MVPs. He has one more Defensive Player of the Year, 9 more scoring titles. I can go on and on and on. Shannon, it's not close. It's not close. And then when you look at 6-0 in the NBA Finals, all 6 MVPs, and you look at LeBron with the most NBA Final losses of any former MVP, it's not close. Don't get caught up and be a prisoner of the moment. Okay. LeBron is playing well, but his resume does not stack up with Michael Jordan in any way.
Okay, so I'm glad for your first argument because you said there's no pressure. He hit those shots. If he misses them, they go into overtime. So how does Tom Brady feel about that, about getting them in field goal range against St. Louis and the Carolina Panthers?
You're asking me? I've told you about Tom Brady. Every time I watch his highlight reel, I see Adam Vinatieri.
I thought this was about LeBron.
I'm just asking you a question.
It's sleight of hand.
No.
Distract the audience with the truth.
No,
where's my wallet?
What I'm doing is showing how you change the narrative.
I didn't change my narrative.
Whoa. When LeBron does something, because first you say you want him to be clutch. He's clutch. You say, well, he's really not clutch because if he misses his shot, they're going to overtime. So let me ask you this. Michael Jordan has 3 first-round losses, 2 second-round losses, and 2 losses in the conference finals. So is that better? Because he was able to keep that perfect finals record intact. But look at all these losses before he got to the finals. So what are we going to do about that? Those happen.
Well, time out. It took him 7 years to break through and win a championship. Yes. It took LeBron 9 years, and to do so, he had to take his talents to South Beach
and join up with forces. 2 other star players in order for it to happen.
So how old was Michael Jordan when he won his first one, and how old was LeBron?
Well, Michael couldn't get to the pros as fast as LeBron did because there was no rules.
See, you keep talking about these scoring titles, and Jordan averaged 30 points a game. LeBron is a little over 27. But when you look at the body of work, you look at the assists, you look at the rebounds, you look at the triple doubles. I mean, you think about what he's doing. See, Michael's job was to score. He never had to worry about assists because who was initiating the offense? Scottie Pippen. He never really had to worry about rebounding. Dennis Rodman is the greatest rebounder, under the rim rebounder in the history of the game.
How many times did Dennis make an all-star team with Michael Jordan?
How
about 0?
Zero.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so 0 is sure.
So
0.
unless you make an all-star team with Michael Jordan, you're not an all-star. Am I correct? Is that what
Nobody wasn't an all-star caliber player at that time.
The dude averaged 15 rebounds a game a season.
And he didn't make the NBA. How come he didn't make the all-star team? Because there were other players better during that era than Dennis Rodman.
You know how fans vote for the all-star game, right? Lonzo Ball had more votes than Dame Lillard this year.
And you know what?
Magic Johnson.
After that postseason that Damian Lillard had, they were probably right.
Did you see that regular season Lonzo had? Skip, y'all need to stop this. Because when you look at the body of work, you look at what LeBron has been able to do, leading his teams in points and assists, 15 straight seasons. Oscar got 8 of those. Kobe got 8 of those, but not consecutive. And all of a sudden, y'all keep changing. See, LeBron is never going to be able to score if you keep moving.
LeBron is a great player, Shannon.
LeBron is never going to be able to score if you keep moving the goal line. You say you want to see him hit a clutch shot, he hit the shot, then you say, well, it's really not clutch because they would have gone to overtime had he missed. But what about the shot that he hit in Toronto to get him to overtime? Was that clutch? Because if he misses that, what happens?
Shannon, we don't have time. We'd need 2.5 more hours for a show for me to go back and show you all the missed shots in clutch situations.
Or the meltdown in Dallas. You remember Michael Jordan?
Whoa.
Did Jordan ever miss any clutch shot?
Sure, he missed.
Because he's
not like this guy did.
His quote says, "I've missed 1,000,000 shots. That's why I succeed."
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
So at age 33, LeBron has become a great one-way player, but Jordan was still a two-way player at age 34 because Michael made the all-defensive first team at age 34 his last year in Chicago when he went and won the championship with 0 other All-Stars on that team, including Scottie, who didn't make the All-Star team.
But was he an All-Star?
he was not an All-Star.
You do know when LeBron beat the Golden State Warriors, that 73-9 team,
Yep.
he had no other All-Stars on his roster.
Who made the big shot to win that series?
Yeah, Kyrie
You remember that?
Irving
Was it a
did.
guy named Kyrie?
Well,
So,
if
may
he missed
I-
that shot, he was tied up anyway.
Okay, so
it doesn't matter.
Michael at age 34 made first-team All-Defense, but at age 33 right now, the one-way player that is LeBron James finished in defensive individual win shares 309th in the NBA. That's horrendously bad. That's as far from first-team All-Defense as you can get.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, at the same age, who's played more minutes? Michael Jordan or LeBron James at the same age?
Well, whose fault is that?
Because
that's Coach James' fault.
No, it's Michael Jordan's fault because he wasn't good enough to go straight from high school to the NBA. That's whose fault it was.
He wasn't good
enough?
He couldn't.
Oh, he was good enough? Daryl Dawkins, hold on, didn't Daryl Dawkins go straight to the, didn't Moses Malone?
Yep.
So what you mean? What you mean? Was that a rule that you couldn't go to the, hold on, is that a rule that you couldn't go from high school because Daryl Dawkins did it? Bill Willoughby, you know Bill Willoughby?
Bill Willoughby.
Oh yeah, he did it. So did Moses Malone.
You got some. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
How do you explain the fact that your man LeBron James has no help, and yet 14 times his teammates have made All-Star teams, and only 6 times in all of Michael's 15-year career, 15 years, did teammates make the All-Star team because it was Scotty 6 times.
Right.
That's it. Period. End of story.
If you don't mind me asking,
Did he have any help?
Did Dennis Rodman win an NBA championship without Michael Jordan on his roster? Name the player that's on LeBron James's roster that's won a championship without him.
Well, how many players left Michael Jordan and went and made an All-Star team? Did Scotty go make an All-Star team for anybody else? No. Houston, Portland?
Oh, he made one without. Yeah, he made one in '94, the year Michael retired.
Well, that was.
Not only did he make the All-Star team, he was the MVP of the All-Star game, and he led his team to a 55-27 record.
Wait. You got to get your facts straight because Michael did not retire. He was forced by the NBA to take a sabbatical.
Well, they need to redact and retract that statement and put another one and put another one out that says he was forced because he said he retired.
Interesting. So, Michael Jordan won the scoring title 10 times and LeBron only once?
But
the great offensive juggernaut that
at the age of 21,
wow. Interesting.
LeBron James averaged 31 points a game. Skip, he has to do other things more than score.
Oh.
Because this is what we know. We can say all we want to, but until he got Scottie Pippen, he got bumped 3 times in the first round. Not the second.
But look at the teams that he.
Come on.
Wasn't the Eastern Conference the Beastern Conference,
yes,
right?
It was back then.
Yeah.
With the Celtics and 4 Hall of Famers,
Right.
with the Pistons with 3 Hall of
If
Famers.
you don't mind me asking, how many Hall of Famers are on that Spurs team that he lost to? You think Kawhi Leonard would be a Hall of Famer?
No, he's not now.
He's
will
not
be.
now.
He's
not.
He's a Hall of Shamer.
Hold on. With
Yeah,
two
he
defensive player of the year and a Finals MVP and a 2-time first team All NBA, he's not going to the Hall of Fame. You do know Tracy McGrady just went to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's nothing.
Okay,
Hold on, Skip. What about the Warriors? How many of those guys that's on the Warriors team that he lost to you think will make the Hall of Fame?
So, Shannon, the final question to ask you is, did Michael Jordan in any of those Eastern Conference playoff series pre-championship or through his 6 finals championships with 6 MVPs, did he ever just melt down in a series where you're saying, what happened to you? The way LeBron did in 2011? I don't know how you explain that.
See, and so here's the thing. You take one series and you try to taint a 15-year.
But it was the series. It was the finals.
They should have never lost to that Dallas Mavericks team.
They were favored.
Hold on, you do know that Dallas Maverick team? They swept the Lakers, who had 2-time NBA champs. You do realize that? They swept, and they beat.
This is LeBron James, the greatest of all time.
With Dwayne and Bosh.
And I'm gonna leave it at this, and I'm not gonna say any more about it. I just want to know. I just want to know if Michael Jordan is Jesus in sneakers. Why couldn't he beat the big 3 Celtics in the 80s? Why couldn't he beat the bad boy Pistons in the 80s? Just answer me that, Rob.
We don't have time. It's over. The segment's over.
Rob, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
The Cowboys have a huge bargain with Dak Prescott at quarterback. His rookie deal pays him less than $1 million a year, but that deal is up after this season. Stephen Jones was asked about Dak's inevitable payday yesterday and went pretty far with his expectations for his quarterback. Let's take a listen.
I know Dak's going to have a great year this year, and I hope it's up there. It's going to be as he deserves. He was a 4th-round pick. No one deserves to get paid fairly more than he does. He's going to do well, and we certainly know that's going to happen. And we've got that planned in our budgeting for the salary cap, and I just want Dak to go out and be MVP this year of the NFL. That's what I want, and then we'll deal with that.
Like that. Sounded good. I like the ring of that, don't you?
Shannon, will Dak be an MVP candidate?
No. No. But I do expect him to play closer to his rookie year than his second year. But why did he play so well his rookie year, Skip Bayless? Who was in that backfield? Now, I don't know if Stephen heard what his dad had said earlier in the day, that he expects the arrow on one old Zeke Elliott to be pointed up.
He did.
Well, if Zeke's arrow is pointing up, what does that mean, Skip?
Okay.
So it's hard for me to imagine a scenario where you have an 1,800-yard rusher in your backfield and the quarterback is the MVP. Now, we've only seen a handful of times in which a quarterback in his first 3 years have won the MVP. Dan Marino won it in his second season, but he had I believe the greatest passing season ever.
He did.
5,000 yards, 48 touchdowns when they were just murdering the quarterback and the receivers.
I agree with that.
And Kurt Warner. Now, Kurt Warner was an anomaly. Kurt Warner was 28 years old as a rookie.
Yep.
So those are outliers. For the most part, quarterbacks, it takes time. You look at Peyton, you look at Brady, you look at all these guys that won the MVP. It normally takes time for you to win that award. And I can assure you, none of those guys had 1,800 yards rushers in their backfield. Also, another thing, you want Dak to be MVP? What you give him? Where is his Julio Jones? Where's his Gronk? Where's his Mark Duper? Where's his Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt? Guys, quarterbacks that's won MVP. Where they at, Skip? How does Dak win the MVP with Alan Hearns? Or Rico Gathers?
Michael Gallup. You didn't say Michael Gallup. Say the name. It sounds good. It sounds like a classic.
The only
Cowboy
Gallup
name.
I really know, Joe, is the polls.
Yeah?
Yeah, Gallup polls says 58%
right.
say the Cowboys
right.
not gonna do good this year. Yeah.
But
so he's not gonna be an MVP consideration, Skip Bayless. You know that, I know that. It sounded good. You know what? You wore your little cowboy blue out here, little cow, try to get cowboy color. Yeah. Try to be slick, but don't worry about
it's metallic blue.
79. And no person has ever won the MVP on a 79 ball club. That's your record.
We got a case of dew on that.
Sure do. Case
Yes,
of
we
spike.
do. Thanks to you. Appreciate that. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this dew. Maybe swimming pool. I'll have a Diet
You get one
Mountain
of
Dew
those
swimming
extra
pool.
refrigerators at your house.
By the time the finals roll around, I be done got it all back.
Really?
Yeah, the finals roll around and over with, I got it
What
all
are you going to
back.
bet on? I agree with you on the Celtics.
No. The finals.
Oh, through the finals.
Yeah, I get it all back.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an all or nothing bet, and I got the Warriors?
Yeah.
We'll bet 10 cases of Diet
We're
Dew?
going to bet game by game.
Oh, really?
Because that's my chance to get it back.
Okay. You got that.
Because I get to bet triple dubs. I get to bet wins.
Oh, so
yeah.
you're prop bet.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Nickel-
that's your strategy.
Like my grandfather used to say, boy, y'all nickel and diming me to death.
Oh. Well, the prop bets get no seats at your restaurant, right? Those prop bets, because you just seat W's down, right?
Whoa.
So those triple doubles, they don't get to.
You just got a prop bet off me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, 4 points.
Well, you gave.
Hey,
it to me.
oh, so you're not gonna give me a chance to get my money back, huh?
Sixers didn't get in your restaurant last night, right?
Yeah, they did. You see Joel Embiid eating them L's?
Yeah. Oh, so
eating
you
L's.
you serve L's in a separate section of your
Yep.
restaurant? Okay, I got it. So, I'm here to tell you that I believe Dak Prescott will be a viable MVP candidate next year for the exact case you just made to me. Because all year long, I'm going to get to sit over here Monday after NFL Monday and say, Shannon, where's Julio? Where is the old Dez, the 2014 Dez? Where is, name somebody, name a top, Antonio, where is that guy? Because he won't have that guy.
Right.
And yet he'll be putting up MVP caliber numbers because last year, nothing went right. Everything was not meant to be. I can't imagine a more painful to watch year for me as a Cowboy fan than last year because you know, and I know, they got 0 breaks. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong last year. And yet, the quarterback who is a rookie had the 3rd best QBR in all of football, plummeted all the way to 4th last year. That's how, in a terrible year, he had the 4th best QBR in football. I think that's going to go back up toward number 1. I think that arrow is pointing north also as we speak, because he's just way better than that. And yet my partner, Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, gave Dak Prescott at the end of the regular season last year, and obviously they missed the playoffs, an F.
Yeah.
You gave him an F with the 4th best QBR in football. That's outrageously wrong.
Miss class, you failed my class.
Oh, so it's just pass-fail, so he gets a fail.
No, he could have played better. That was his Skip. Here's the thing. He could have shown you what he was capable of doing while Zeke was out. Zeke was out. We saw when Zeke was there, 26-4, that big old high QBR, you'd have loved he to finish number 1 like my quarterback did last year. But Skip, you and I both know they built this team to run the football. This is all those linemen.
Right.
They were there with DeMarco Murray when he went 18-48, and Tony Romo didn't win the MVP, and Dez had a monster season.
Okay. So, speaking of Dez Bryant, I'm going to remind you, because you do agree with this premise. Last year, Dak Prescott was forced to throw more than 1/4 of his total passes for the year to the most overrated, underperforming number 1 receiver in all of football, bar none, Dez Bryant. Am I right?
I agree with you.
He led the NFL in drops, while more than 1/4 of the passes in the offense went to him, went to 88, and he caught 52% of them, which is just horrendously bad. And he dropped a whole bunch more. So, then what happened right on schedule when Ezekiel Elliott finally did get suspended, and do not underestimate how much that suspension hung over this football team from training camp forward, right? Because they're coming in every day of camp saying, wonder if he's going to survive.
Suspended? No, you're not. Suspended? No, you're not. Yeah,
and remember, the running back himself had to spend countless hours prepping to appear in court. He had to appear in the Texas court when he did get his stay of execution for the year, and then he had to fly to New York and appear in whatever level of court that was. Remember that?
Right.
And so you don't think that's taking a lot out of him?
Yes.
So then he finally, ultimately, does get suspended for the game starting in Atlanta. And what happened right on schedule at Atlanta? Sean Lee gets hurt in that game, and Tyron Smith, the best left tackle in football. I'll debate that all day with anybody. The combination run and pass blocker, there's no better. He is special. He misses that game. That's the first game he's going to miss. So you lose your quarterback on defense, and you lose your cornerstone left tackle, your blindside protector, Ty Smith, for a game at Atlanta. And what did Adrian Claiborne do in that game? He made a whole lot of money, didn't he?
Yep.
He sacked Dak Prescott.
$1 million in that one game.
He did. And he sacked Dak 6 times, and Dak went down 8 total times, thanks to whoever they kept throwing in over there, Chad Green. What? What?
Chad.
Seriously? And that started the crumbling. That started the downfall. But I'll also point out that Sean Lee missed 6 total games last year, and they went 1-5 in those games. So when he was upright, they went 8-2. So I'm hinging my MVP candidacy for the quarterback, Dak, on can Sean Lee stay healthy? Obviously, you'll say history would tell you probably not. Okay, you better hope not, because if he does, you're going to be in big trouble. Because let's go back to the first 2 games that he missed. They were home games, and they were turning point games with Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. Guess what happened in those 2 games?
What happened?
Rams but this is before we knew they were the Rams. They hadn't quite emerged, but they were emerging. And what happened? Cowboys have a big lead in that game. Dak Prescott ends up with a QBR of 78, which is very good. And Jared Goff, by the way, in that game had a 42 QBR. And there's no Sean Lee, and they collapse in the second half on defense, and they lose. Then the following week...
They did score 24 points in the first half, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there's not a cap on points in sports.
Okay, but I'm just saying that they couldn't stop anything that the Rams were doing in the second half.
They couldn't do anything on offense in the second half either.
Okay, but his QBR is still high, and it would take into account if he were a disaster in the second half, he wouldn't have a 78 QBR.
But hold on, Skip. I got to cut you off here. See, this is what I'm having a problem with. Now, when LeBron James has like a triple-double, you'll look at his plus-minus and say he had a -8 plus-minus.
So, wait, are we comparing LeBron James to Dak
I'm
Prescott?
Just, no.
You're giving Dak that much respect? He belongs in the same conversation with LeBron James?
Is that you will point to a guy that plays well in the game and you immediately look to his plus-minus or his defensive rating. Why are we looking? He came to my restaurant. Joy, he ordered 3 L's.
Yeah.
3 L's. He had a 3 L special. That's what Dak ordered at my restaurant.
So, Joy, check this out. The following week at Jerry World, another big turning point game. Who is the visitor? It's Aaron Rodgers, who Dak frequently has outplayed in his career. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. So what happens in that game? Dak really outplays Aaron Rodgers. What? He did. I can just show you. Dak's QBR in that game was a 97 on a scale of 0 to 100. So Dak had a near-perfect game. Aaron had a 74, which is pretty good, but he got outplayed again. But
Joy,
no Sean Lee, disaster in the second half.
This is my context box right here. And in the context of things, Aaron Rodgers is 2-1 against your guy.
Interesting. So, my guy is now protected by a line that will be restabilized because we signed Tom Brady's right tackle. Cameron Fleming, who started the Super Bowl at right tackle for the Patriots, is now my right tackle, which moves Lyle Collins back to his regular position, his natural position of left guard. All of a sudden, my line, if it stays healthy, if Tyron Smith's back stays healthy, it will go back to being the most dominating in football. That will help the MVP candidacy. And what does Dak do best? He speed reads and spreads the football. All of a sudden, all those guys you named, those just guys, they're all going to catch passes. Rico Gathers will come from nowhere, the Baylor basketball player. He will be catching a whole lot of passes and having impact that even Jason Witten last year could not have.
Stop trying to hinge everything. And sometimes I think
I'm not hinging anything.
Yeah, you did. You talk about it just hinges on if he stays healthy, if that guy stays healthy.
Cole Beasley is still there. He will have a bounce-back year. No more threat of Ryan Switzer trying to take his job away from him because they traded Ryan Switzer to get a defensive lineman from the Raiders. Boom. I got this.
All those guys.
You're going to be in trouble.
All those guys that's won MVP. Tom Brady won the MVP. Can you tell him who he was throwing to? Oh, Gronk. Gronk was all-pro. Cooks, Brandon Cooks.
He's a
1,000 yards.
He's a difference maker, Brandon.
Whoa, Skip. Only Randy Moss got more 1,000-yard games, 1,000-yard seasons before the age of 25 than this young man.
Okay. Well, he's playing with Tom Brady, too.
Okay. But so are you comparing Dak to Tom Brady?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then.
Although in QBR, he's got that Brady-esque QBR.
Really, Skip? You want to do that?
I'm doing it.
You want to hit your wagon to Dak and talk about he's Tom Brady?
I think he's going to be right in the middle of this MVP race. He was as a rookie. You know and I know he was.
He didn't get as many votes as Zeke did for MVP.
Well, he won the
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Well, he did.
Zeke should have won.
You don't know how.
Zeke should have won it.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Because Zeke showed you how valuable he was when he was out.
Yeah. This is going to be Dak's year. I got a good feeling about it, especially because you say it won't be.
You ain't taking probiotics. That's that feeling.
I take them every day.
No mercy.
Ezekiel Elliott missed 6 games last season after being suspended by the NFL. Yesterday, Jerry Jones was asked what he expects from Zeke in 2018 without a suspension hanging over his head. Let's take a listen.
I think that not having to address that mentally and physically, not having to think about not only the interruption of the actual potential suspension and then suspension, but just the physical interruption of the physical aspect of that. Yes, I think that I give him a big error as to what his performance might be without the overhang of the issue that he faced last year.
We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Welcome, Eric. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Do you expect to see a different Zeke this season?
Well, I'll say this much. I've been in a situation kind of like that now, dealing with court, going back and forth to court with my at that time, daughter's mother. It's a distraction, it really is. But, when you go to the football field, you play football. I mean, you get a chance to kind of get away from that. You don't be on the field talking about, man, I got to go to court tomorrow, Monday morning. I got to be at 7:30, and you don't think about that kind of stuff. What I really believe here is that I don't want to see Zeke have the Todd Gurley effect, and it's not his fault. I'm gonna put it on Jason Garrett. You know, Jason Garrett has to make sure that that offense without Jason Witten, without Dez Bryant, you know, we can't come out, well, we got offensive line problems. You can't come with that. I think that's what the problem is that when I saw the Rams 2 years ago, and people say, oh, man, he's not running the same he did his rookie year, Todd Gurley. I'm like, yes, he is. I say, it's not him. It's the offense. It's the offense. It's the offense. Because as well as you know, and you too, Skip, in the NFL, you may get us the first time, but we're going to be ready for you the second time. Yeah. And the Cowboys are set up for a running football team. Right. And the one thing is that if I'm a defensive coordinator, 21 ain't going to beat us. We're gonna make 4 beat us. We ain't worried about them receivers over there. We're going to put 8 in the box, and we're going to make sure, see if he can run. So it's not on Zeke. Zeke is good. Matter of fact, I talked to his agent. We were supposed to go to Cabo next week, me, him, and his agent and some guys. I can't go.
By the way, you went to visit him.
I went to visit him in Cabo, you know, when he's in his suspension. Yeah. You know, the thing I like about this right now, you're saying what somebody just asked me 2 days ago, you know, where is Zeke? Zeke has kept a low profile. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, Zeke is a young man, you know, and when you're 21, 22 years old, we make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I can say I did a lot of dumb things, but it wasn't on Instagram. We didn't have cell phone. We had the brick phones back in those days. You know, so you couldn't catch us doing things. So right now, I really know that Zeke is zoned in on playing football. Now that's his thing. And Jerry's right. If Zeke's ready to play, but I really believe the onus is going to be on the head coach of Jason Garrett. You know, is he going to put him in the right situations to do what he wants to do, you know, for his football team?
I do. Skip, this last year was a blessing in disguise because it probably saved 125, 150 carries off those legs. So that maybe added a year to his career. He'll be fresh. The really great athletes, you can compartmentalize, Skip. And it's a distraction. Am I going to be suspended? Okay, I'm suspended. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. And so now the finality of it, you're suspended for 6 games. He comes back. And like you said, Ed, he's kept a low profile, which I loved it. No video footage, ain't nothing but Zeke this, Zeke that. He's focused on what he needs to focus on. Because guess what? He want that new contract too.
Sure do.
He want that new contract too. So quickest way to get a new contract, going out there and run for 1,800 yards and get by 15 touchdowns. Jerry come talk to you. Because Jerry love his old stars. Now, Jerry take care of his stars.
But what did you tell me all football season long about Ezekiel Elliott? That he's the type of player that the owner / GM has to sleep with the cell phone right by his ear because it might just buzz his ear about.
Oh, no, you ain't turning your cell phone off.
Right?
Oh, no. Will McClay and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, Jason Garrett, they never turned their cell phones off. Oh, you
Did you turn yours off?
Huh? No.
That's what I said, huh?
No.
I have no doubts about this young man with a football under his arm during a football game. I still have grave doubts about this young man off the field. I'm still not sure. I got to see it to believe it. I love everything you have told me about the time you have spent around him because I do think his heart is in the right place. And I think he was starting, you know, it was sort of like he was forced to get it last year because for 6 weeks that whole thing got taken away from him and you sort of see your football mortality for a little while like, man, what if I didn't have this at all?
They show football games in Mexico.
Well,
so guess what? He got to see his team play and he wasn't there.
And he wasn't there. That is correct. So I'm still not convinced he's dealt with all of his off-field issues. I am so happy I've heard nothing about him for a long time here. But a bunch of weeks have passed with no Zeke news. And last year, about this time, well, it was St. Patrick's Day, we had big news, right?
Yep.
Remember that incident?
And then he had the 4th of July party.
Yeah, it was a big incident.
But here's the thing, Skip. This is why I think he's going to be really successful. Is because this team is built to run the football. They got those 3 all-pro offensive linemen. And look at what's outside. Who's going to take the catch? Who's going to throw the ball to take carries away from Zeke? So they're going to have to rely on Zeke. He's going to be somewhere around 350 carries this year, ED.
Yeah.
And knowing what he averages, like 5 yards a carry, 4.8, he's going to be somewhere probably around 1,700 yards.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this much here. You're right, but you want those guys outside. You know, look, Dez might not have been the guy that he was 3 years ago, but he's still, some teams still try to, in a sense, double cover him.
Right.
Keep an eye on him. Right now, they don't have that.
Right.
You know, Jason Witten was a good blocker. He might not get run the routes, run the deep routes and all that kind of stuff, but he still got open.
Right.
So now, what do you don't have that? Right. You don't have that. I think between their tight ends, I think they have 9 catches. So you know that's a problem. One thing about the running game is that it can be stopped. It can be stopped. How do they stop a running game? They put 8 in the box. Like I'll say it again. This, to me, comes on the head coach, Jason Garrett. He has to put him in the right situation. Zeke will be ready to play football now, but is the offense going to be ready? You know, yeah, you got the offensive lineman, but after a while, you know, carrying that ball, you know, 25, 30 times a game, especially in this day and age, it wears on a football player. It wears on you. Zeke's that guy. I think Zeke probably is the best guy in the National Football League that runs between the tackles. Yeah. Now, is he the best running back in the National Football League? I'm going to give my guy Todd Gurley that. And you know, I got to argue with him on that.
But you're the Rambassador.
And you got cowboy colors on today.
I do.
So for sure, I feel like that he is ready, but is his team ready? And I'm not saying his team. I'm saying his head coach has to put him in that right position. You know very well that it's some coaches that they're good offensive coordinators, but they don't make good head coaches. And that's just a fact. I mean, it is what it is.
You could be right about this head coach.
Well, Scott Linehan, who's the offensive coordinator, Skip. But my thing is that Allen Hurns and Beasley and Gathers and the Thompson, I think
Deontay Thompson.
Yeah. They don't
Michael Gallup, don't forget.
They don't put fear in anybody. Yeah. So, and I've said this all along, when Zeke wasn't there, and even when they had the running game, they still had those offensive linemen, I'm not letting the running game beat me.
There you go.
Okay.
If Dak Prescott, you throw for 350, 3 touchdowns, I'm going to walk to the center of the field, unless you Tom Brady, don't shake the man's hand, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to walk to the center of the field, Joe, I'm going to shake your hand, good game. But I am not letting 221 beat me. I am not letting this running game beat me.
You guys are dramatically both underestimating number 4. That's what you're doing. You dismissed it.
I don't.
We're going to make 4 beat us because there ain't nobody outside.
You got to have receivers.
Okay. 4's going to beat a whole bunch of teams. A whole bunch of other quarterbacks or coordinators are going to have to walk to the middle of the field and shake 4's hands because what you guys have just detailed, what you've set up is 8 or 9 in the box.
Yeah.
And who is that guy and who is that guy? And Dak's going to go bing, 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 and the QBR is going to go way up toward 100. And by, 2/3, 3/4 through the year, you're going to have to sit over there and say, you know what, he's an MVP candidate. Because I think he's going to be right in the mix.
As that QBR goes up, so with that L total,
the loss goes up.
If Zeke Elliott does not have at least 1,500 yards rushing, y'all not going to no playoffs. Y'all not going. So he's going to have to be somewhere between 1,500 and 1,800.
I dare every coordinator who's going to play the Dallas Cowboys to put 8 or 9 in the box. I dare them.
They're going to do
sliced and diced.
No, they won't get it.
They're going to do it. Look, when you look at even when the Cowboys were good 2 years ago, the Cowboys were good. They still ran the football.
Yeah.
That's their MO. They're running football team.
You told me they had the most time of possession and the most 10-play drives. Dak was not throwing the ball.
Yes, Zeke was.
Skip.
Yes, he
was.
Feed me. Defensive coordinators, they look at it and say, look, you know what? I'll say it again. 21 ain't going to beat us.
Yeah. Okay,
if he can't 40 times.
Salvation Army kettle.
No,
did he jump in there? Who jumped in that kettle?
He doesn't need to. He doesn't play like that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he doesn't have to promote himself. I promote him on this show.
Now that's the truth. That's right.
Well, when they had the most success and when you thought Tony Romo was going to win the MVP, what happened? Who was offensive player of the year?
I didn't think he was going to
DeMarco Murray. 1848, and when Dez dropped that ball in Green Bay, and Green Bay was able to go.
He did not drop
the
ball.
Don't do that.
Drop the ball?
Drop it.
I got to go with Skip on it. He did not drop that ball.
Drop it.
He put it in his back pocket. He made a
football move.
2 football moves.
A football move.
He tried to slam it on the goal line, and he's left-handed with his left hand.
After further review, the player did not maintain possession throughout the entirety of the act.
What did the ref on the spot do? What do you call it?
Smell deodorant.
Smell deodorant.
And then they went upstairs. He said, nah, put your arms down.
If that was you and they had called it that
That's what I was going to ask you.
You would bring that up.
That's what I was going to ask you. You beat me. That's what I was going to ask you.
Conversation possible. Someone would bring up pancakes and you would find a way
first of all,
to make it about
what Dez doesn't understand. I don't care how many times you bobble it. Every time you bobble it, that's not a catch. So if you'd have caught it clean the first time and got the one catch, you'd been done with it. He bobbled it thinking he was going to get, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6.
So
no,
he
bro.
controlled it with his right hand, and then he shifted it into his left hand to slam it
So
down.
2 steps.
Football move.
I'd have caught it clean.
Don't they call it a football move?
I'd have caught it clean and walked into the end zone. They had no choice.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that. All that speed
Well,
you
first
got.
of all, I'd have had separation. I'd have been in front of him.
All that speed you got.
I'd have been in front of him, and all John would have had to do is drop it in the bucket.
And you get in front of someone, what do you have to have?
Speed.
You got that?
I got footage. You want to put like Darryl Green?
No.
I got footage of you getting run down from behind. You see that?
Hey, Darryl was faster than me. Can we get our race? Skip, please. Can you talk to him, Skip?
Me outrunning a 60-year-old retired guy. What's the benefit of that?
Joy, please, come on. You don't want none of that.
One, we wouldn't have to talk about it all the time.
Thank you. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to force you into this race. Roy Green said you're going to pull your hamstring.
You're both going to pull your hamstring.
Joy, you want some of this too?
That's the best that will happen is both of you pull hamstrings.
So we both fall at 20.
That's okay. I'll die for
And yes, I would obviously beat both of you.
Come on, Joy. Can I even get my $400?
Yes, eventually. I'm trying to work that
We
into
got a bunch of
double or nothing
Weasleys
so I
on
can even out. Eric, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Keep an eye out for a weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning featuring the best discussions and segments from this week. We'll be back with more Undisputed on Monday morning at the same time, 9:30 Eastern. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports. One of one.